When Christine left, she told her children, our children, and even some of Janelle's dad has a soulmate. That's Rob. I want to be free to go find my soulmate. When she first told everybody that pissed me off. But as time has gone on, they're gone. I'm out of this relationship with these other wives. I'm like way more inclined to accept.
Kody's concern about Robyn going to church alone is, well, let's say a bit much. In an episode, Robyn casually mentions to her girls that she'd like to attend church with them, asking if they'd mind. Later, when she brings it up to Kody, he asks when she plans to go, and then, surprise, surprise, he says he wants to go too. Of course, his real reason for wanting to join in is that he can't possibly let Robyn attend alone. Why? Because, according to him, she'd be open market for any man looking for a wife. Yes, you read that right. Apparently, Robyn is such a catch that men in church would be lining up for a shot at her. My immediate reaction, really? Kody's worried about Robyn being hot property in church? Let's get real here. She's not exactly some prize on display, and no, men aren't standing around plotting to steal her away. It's beyond ridiculous. And what does this say about Kody's mindset? He seriously believes that men are out there hunting for other men's wives. It's telling, to say the least. He needs constant validation, and the idea that other men envy his catch feeds that massive ego of his. Kody's comments aren't just attention-seeking. They're also dripping with misogyny. It's clear that he views women as property to protect, not as partners with agency and equal standing in a relationship. It's all about control and possession, not loyalty. Robyn doesn't even bat an eye at his lack of trust, which honestly is troubling in itself. I'm reminded of a confessional moment before Kody and Robyn's wedding, when one of the original wives, I think it was Christine, though it's hazy, made a passing comment about Kody marrying a trophy wife, referring to Robyn. Janelle seemed a bit put off by that comment, but it's become painfully clear that Kody does view Robyn as his trophy. He doesn't seem to see her for who she really is, but rather as some accessory to parade around. For him, it's all about the image and the idea that others wish they had what he has. It's all ego, and it's really hard to ignore. We've got so much to dive into today, so let's not waste any time. Let's jump straight into it. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Elena here, and welcome back to my channel Reality Nexus X. I'm not exactly Meri's biggest fan, but let's talk about this for a second. In the first season, remember when Meri went to that ridiculously overpriced restaurant for her 20th anniversary dinner? They made a big deal about how much it cost and how tight money was, so it was a big, rare treat. Fast forward, and now Meri's got her finances together and can casually say, "Hey girls, let's meet for lunch at that crazy expensive spot." Must feel pretty good to not just visit that place, but to actually own it now. Oh, and here's the kicker. That same pricey venue? It's where Aspen had her wedding. When they first checked it out, Robyn couldn't help but throw some passive-aggressive comments about the cost. And Meri, she actually offered to help pay. How sweet of her. The classic "sittin' there," it's practically a catchphrase at this point. I swear, it gets said at least once an episode, especially by Robyn, like clockwork. Every time, it cracks me up. There's something so perfectly ridiculous about it. We're sitting here, killing ourselves trying to live out this faith. Honestly, it's like the writers had a bingo card for phrases to make us chuckle. Anyway, I'm rewatching Sister Wives while I'm stuck in bed with this miserable sinus infection. It's weird, but Sister Wives has somehow become one of my comfort shows. I first started watching it when I was laid up with coronavirus 2 years ago, so now it's my go-to when I'm sick. I'm currently on season 4, so let's see how many episodes I can get through before this cold finally lets up. Oh, and I've been watching Melanie, No Testo Self 444, on YouTube. She's from the AUB, and guess what? They also love to throw around the "sit in there" line. Must be a Utah thing. I'm honestly so confused about Kody&Robyn's whole how we met story. Let me get this straight. They met at church, hours away from where Robyn actually lived. Was Kody there alone, without his wives and kids, just out for a solo adventure? And was he even actively looking for a new wife, or was he just out for a little Sunday stroll? Then, a couple of weeks later, Kody and Meri go to a house party. Just the two of them? Seriously? While Janelle was off working and Christine, who was pregnant at the time, stayed home to wrangle all the kids. I'm not even sure what's happening here. Honestly, they've never fully explained it, and I'm calling it. There's something fishy about this entire story. Whether Meri introduced them, or if it was some divine intervention, the fact remains. A guy with 3 wives, and that many kids driving hours away to court someone 10 years younger than him. Yeah, that's shady, no matter who or how they met. It's just adorable how Maddie and Caleb have turned into the family central everyone pretends to want. They're so welcoming, letting kids from all sorts of backgrounds, Isabel, Savannah, probably a few random neighbors too, live with them. And look, they even host holidays like it's a family reunion. No big deal, just being the epitome of warm, inclusive parenting. It's a stark contrast to Kody, who claimed he wanted this same kind of family vibe, but didn't bother to actually create it. Instead, he's busy tearing things down. Maddie and Caleb are doing it all without making a huge spectacle about loyalty or demanding grand declarations. They're actually just being good, consistent people. Unlike someone who I'm pretty sure wants the same thing but seems more interested in throwing tantrums. Maddie's got the kind of family she values, close-knit, genuine connections, while Kody's still running around sabotaging whatever he touches. And let's not forget about the whole sibling dynamic that Maddie's fostering. The kids grew up seeing each other as full siblings. No, you're from a different mom nonsense. That's not something you see every day, and it's honestly beautiful. Maddie's just continuing that tradition, keeping those bonds strong. Meanwhile, it's clear Kody's ideal family never really existed, and Robyn, well, she might think that's what she wanted, but she didn't exactly roll up her sleeves to make it happen. The real tragedy here? Aurora and Brianna. Can you imagine what a few months living with Maddie could have done for them? They would have been so welcome, but instead, Kody and Robyn managed to wreck those relationships by just being themselves. Oh, Robyn's past? Well, get ready for a tale of intrigue. Before Kody swooped in, she was living a very different life. Her ex-husband, a contractor, and she were living in a manufactured home, where she worked as a receptionist at an assisted living facility, just your standard, everyday setup. As for her ex, he didn't exactly win the Father of the Year award. After their divorce, he was ordered to pay a measly $159 a month for all 3 kids, but guess how well that went? He made 12 payments. Then he conveniently fell 30 months behind before deciding to just sign away his rights. Classic move. Meanwhile, Robyn took on all the debt from their marriage while he got to keep the house. So yeah, that's what I've managed to piece together from the scattered articles on their divorce. Pretty picture perfect, right? Kody's repeated insistence that he didn't love the OG3 is getting absurd. I mean, the guy practically screams it every time he's arguing with Robyn, like when he says, "What did I do wrong? Not love their mothers," over and over again. It's almost like he's trying to convince himself, because deep down, he knows he loved every one of them. The truth is, his ego's bruised, and that's why he's so hurt, angry, and defensive. Let's be real, Kody's constantly saying this for Robyn's benefit. She clearly needs constant reassurance that she's his one true love, and he's more than happy to feed that insecurity. If he keeps repeating that he never cared about the OG3, he can try to pretend he didn't do anything wrong, and somehow avoid looking like the bad guy who got dumped by his wives. But Kody isn't fooling anyone. He's slipping up, admitting now and then that he did, in fact, love them. The truth always leaks out. The rest is just him trying to protect his fragile ego, because if he can claim he didn't love them, maybe, just maybe, it won't sting so much that they all left him. So I'm currently on season 17, and my husband is so over me watching this show. But of course, one day, it just so happened to catch his attention, and he watched a couple of random episodes with me. He looks at me all confused and asks, "Babe, why do they always keep moving? Where are they getting the money for this? Ah, sweet husband of mine, they don't have it, and frankly, Kody is a total idiot. Seriously, how do you keep moving every time with no real homes? Like, did I miss the part where they're suddenly rolling in cash? Oh, and don't even get me started on that miracle of theirs, triggered just thinking about it." I can't remember the exact episode, but there was this one moment when Kody was making a comment about something Christine was going through. Paraphrasing here, but he basically said, even if it's not the right choice, sometimes it just feels better to keep moving anyway. And no, he wasn't talking about moving homes, though, let's be real, that would have made sense. I just thought it was so telling of how his mind works. I mean, I think he's a jerk, and I do believe they were all heavily influenced by cult-like thinking, but at the same time, I do feel a little sad for them. They were all kind of flailing around, none of them really knowing what they were doing, and using some seriously messed up coping mechanisms. I honestly think the excitement of moving, of creating change, was the thing that kept it all going for so long. For Kody, the chaos was probably the only time he could feel like a real leader, like he could actually get things done. And then he'd stand there, puff out his chest, and go, "See, told you it would work," eye roll. But then, of course, when routine kicked in and the cracks started showing, instead of addressing any of the real issues, he'd just uproot everything again, acting like the hero. It's like, oh, guess we'll just move again and that'll solve all our problems. Then came coronavirus, and I swear it broke him. He was so burned out that he couldn't make another big move, though he almost did when he almost agreed with Christine about moving back to Utah. And finally, after everything fell apart, he just threw his hands up, gave up, and let his true self slip out. That's when everyone finally realized how the family was operating, or rather, not operating, because they weren't a big family anymore. And Kody? He just shrugged. It's so infuriating, especially when you think about how much this has hurt his kids. His actions are borderline unforgivable. But honestly, deep down, I think he's an absolute mess too. It's like the guilt of it all is eating him alive, but he won't admit it. Meanwhile, we've seen the original wives have this incredible glow-up since escaping that insanity, while Kody&Robyn are both deteriorating in real time. And he's not getting anywhere near healing until he owns up to his part in all of this and shows some humility, no matter how many mansions he buys and moves into. But hey, I guess he'll just keep running, right? Because as he once said, even if it isn't necessarily the right choice, sometimes it just feels better to keep moving anyway. All right, let's break down your holiday fun options, where you're forced to spend 3 to 4 nights with one of these wives. And nope, no hiding in a corner or playing dead. You have to participate. So which one are you picking and why? In marriage order, because we all know that's important. Option 1, Mary's in Parowan. Ah, the potentially haunted B&B, where you might not just be battling ghosts, but also the endless parade of just Jen and whoever else from Mary's ever-growing friend circle. Add in Nathan and Rebecca or Leon and Audrey for extra drama. Oh, and cocktails and giggles that will probably make you question your life choices. But hey, at least you'll never be bored, right? Option 2, Maddie's in Nancy with Janelle. Now we're talking. Caleb, Gabe, Hunter, Savannah, and a definite appearance from Logan. Oh, and brace yourself because my Kelty and Tony might pop in too. This one has all the makings of a chill time. Board games, booze, and weed. You know, the kind of low-stakes chaos that'll leave you questioning your sobriety but laughing the whole time. At least it's relatively harmless, right? Option 3. Christine's in Salt Lake. Ready for some serious PDA. Christine's house will be packed with David and his kids, Truly, Aspen and Mitch, Peyton, Isabel, and who knows who else. It's a family reunion with a side of awkwardness and heartwarming moments. If you're in the mood for feeling like a third wheel while everyone else is touching each other, this one's got you covered. Option 4. Robyn's in Flagstaff. Now, here's the real wild card. Robyn's new house, Kody finally getting to be affectionate in public, because, you know, he's allowed now, and a crew that includes Aurora, Brianna, Saul, Ari, and Grandma Alice. Oh, and you can expect some worship songs strummed on guitars while everyone sings along like it's a spiritual holiday. And we're talking about Kody humping Robyn on the counter at some point for sure. So what's it gonna be? A haunted getaway with Meri's friends, a slightly too chill time at Maddie's, family overload at Christine's, or Robyn's spiritual rock concert? The choice is yours. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Take care and much love to you all.